Hey, heterosexual men. This one's for you. I'm Ariel Italic.
I'm Lady Andrews.
And I'm the conductor on the train to Halloween Town.
And you're watching Nobodies Watching Wrestling.
Pussy.
We watched so much wrestling for you. We watched Fyter Fest. We watched G1 Dallas. We watched Rise. Also, special shout out to Noise, NOYES_NOISE on Twitter for buying me this wig and these tits.
Titties.
You got tits and a wig?
Since we watched a bunch of stuff, we're only going to do a few matches from each event. We're going to start with Fyter Fest, and we're going to start with the three-way of Nyla Rose versus Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki, and oh, wow, is there a lot to talk about in this one.
Ooh.
It was really good.
Let's start with looks.
Yeah.
Looks.
Because these are important. Everyone sells what their character is with their choice of garment really well.
Yeah.
Yes. Rio came out and she's wearing this frilly dress. And I'm like, I think she's literally changing entrance looks because it looks like just something you'd wear anywhere. It doesn't look like a wrestling outfit.
It's true. And the whole thing was kind of the perfect color and it moved really well.
Yes.
It was really good.
Yuka Sakazaki, we have reviewed before. She has the same look as last time, but it is an amazing look that conveys that she came out of a genie's lamp to hurt you.
She's just a magic lady.
The harem pants with the weird, like, frilly cutouts, very good. Moves really well again. Doesn't get in the way of wrestling. I'm ready for a new magical girl look. I need a second look from you, girl.
We need a new magical girl look.
Speaking of people that we gave feedback to that they took, we asked Nyla Rose for a skull that matched her outfit, and she literally delivered.
Yeah.
I bet she heard us.
She maybe watched this show, and Nyla, you're killing it. Everything was great. I do have to give one piece of feedback that sparkle fabric did not look expensive.
It looked cheap. That's true. I can't disagree. But the way it moved in the breeze was cool.
Everyone looked great.
Yeah.
And everyone wrestled great.
And
the wrestling was the biggest part of it.
And the outfits told the story of each character in a really good way.
Right.
Storytelling was a huge part of this match. This was a match, when people talk about story wrestling, this had that. Because we started with Nyla doing a lot of things that involved picking up and hurting both of the other women at once.
At the same time.
And then they had to team against her.
Yeah, to establish that she is that strong and that they are building a burgeoning friendship specifically to like address this threat. Like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
You know I love when cartoon play comes into play for these wrestling matches. And when she took both of their arms and just goes, that was the best.
I felt bad because Riho took the brunt of a lot of the wrath, because then when she and Yuka Sakazaki had their own fight, a lot of it was Riho getting her ass kicked there too. She sold it hard, but I felt bad that she had to get hurt so much because she seems like an angel.
I loved the twist at the end that Riho was not taking Yuka's friendship. I thought that I was ready for them to like embrace and like skip off in the distance, and I was like, oh, holy character development. You're all in it for yourselves, and I love it.
They're really building stuff here. We have to eat our words from last time because we didn't think anything was happening with that match.
It's true.
When Yuka was sad about that, it was so heart-wrenching that even the announce table was like, she looks so sad.
Oh, her wrestling sad face is what they said.
Wrestling sad face.
It was like a full Emmy-winning performance. I have seen worse acting on Netflix for sure.
Wrestling sad face is the new resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Totally.
Big time.
I didn't see Riho's win coming, even though she spent the whole time getting her ass kicked.
I really thought Nyla was going to win. That double submission she tried to pull.
I was mad because this event technically occurred during Pride Month, and I thought it was homophobic that Nyla didn't win. However, the way they wrote it actually changed my mind.
Yeah.
It all just works. This was a great match start to finish. Congratulations to all three of the women involved.
Also, we now know Pride is every month.
Ariel, do you want to talk about what you learned about this match?
Oh, yeah. So this is an important thing. DJ Accident Report, tweeted out one LGBTQ plus wrestler every day of the month for June, and Nyla Rose came up, and I knew that she was part of the pantheon. I assumed, I guess, somehow queer. Didn't realize that she is openly trans.
Unclockable.
I do also think it's important, though, that the fact that I didn't know means that no one at the announce table has ever commented specifically that she is trans. That's not something that anyone has ever
Yeah, they're not
said.
making a big deal about her being trans.
Which I think is great, actually. They don't feel the need to point it out.
On the one hand, I think it's great. On the other hand, I wish they sort of were like, she's representing the LGBT community.
That is true, too.
Like, that would be cool, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, either way, it's fine. I would mostly just ask her.
They're
how she
obviously
wants
having
it.
conversations
Yeah,
about
totally.
it. And that's what's great.
Okay, we are moving on to Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers and the Laredo Kid.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Yes, you do.
You know who Kenny Omega is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You know who the
they
Young
actually look
Bucks
good,
are.
too.
Okay, so I feel like a hypocrite because we've spent 900 hours talking about how wrestlers shouldn't do cosplay. However, this was adorable. I thought it was so cute. I thought it was such like a stupid, fun interpretation of Street Fighter, which has like simple, iconic outfits that they put their own little pizzazz on with the fringe on the bottom. And
I
the
wasn't bothered
sequins.
by the fringe today.
Because it was like, it was adding their signature to a cosplay.
But also, it was also because their boots matched the fringe, so you couldn't tell that the fringe didn't go all the way to the ground.
Yes.
I can't believe what I'm hearing, honestly.
I can't believe it's not a woman.
I can't believe... So you are pro the Ken and Ryu cosplay?
Yes. Not pro the sloppy Akuma.
Okay, that's good, because that was a real
Trash.
letdown.
I
Trash.
didn't get that. I don't know who Akuma is, honestly. But I thought Kenny looked good, not knowing who this person was.
Did you?
Yeah, his hair looked cute.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's back up, because that's a
I
lie.
thought he looked cute. He looked cute and tan.
Did look
Not
tan.
that tan means cute, but like, he looked tan.
He had a great tan. That hair was a problem.
Very bad.
Not great.
Bad because it didn't match the character.
No, that's the character's hair. It's bad just because look at it.
It's not a great... It's also, like, if you were going out as Akuma for Halloween and you were a frat boy, then you would put, like, red spray in your hair and do, like, a high pony and call it a day. But it just wasn't... It wasn't good. He didn't commit fully. Let's move on to our Lucha friends. They looked great.
They look how they always look. They came out in gray tracksuits, which the health goth part of me was like, yes, good. But the everything else part of me was like, step your pussy up.
I was fine with all of it.
I don't know shit about Laredo Kid, but he was pretty good.
With every 6-person match, it can be difficult to pick out, like, what's happening. And they smartly avoided that a lot of the time with a lot of unison, which tapped into the Broadway part of my brain that was like, yes, if everyone does the same thing at the same time, it looks clean and good. We're just doing a kick line, but with wrestling.
Yeah,
Oh, Broadway.
that was what they were doing. Yeah.
We have previously praised the Young Bucks for having a good, fun, flippy style, and pairing them against the Lucha Brothers was a good way to, like, bring all of the flips together in a big hurricane. I just enjoyed everyone flying through the air immensely.
I think it was just too many flips in one match.
It was almost too
Too many flips.
I like that the Lucha Bros are doing weird, unnecessary flippy shit, but also that their moves look brutal and violent. And sometimes the Young Bucks lack that part of it.
So,
Yeah.
Kenny Omega gets the win, and good for him. I don't have more to say about it. I just felt it
Wait,
was,
only he got the win?
well, the whole team, but he.
Oh, okay,
Kenny,
that's your main
Kenny,
one.
he got the pin.
Kenny pins Laredo
pinned
Kid.
the Laredo Kid. So he won it for the team. I just don't bear him any specific ill will, but I also don't have the same love in my heart for him that everyone else does. So it's fine that he won for me. It's fine.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
And now, Joey Janella versus Jon Moxley. I just want to start this because I know there has been some controversy that I'm not the biggest Jon Moxley fan.
It's a problem because
So-
we're going to have to be talking
Is there
about it.
controversy?
I just want to ask the question to you and to you. Why do we love Jon Moxley so much? Why is he good?
No, but he's free.
He's free.
That's not really the answer. Why do we love him?
Freedom.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Is Jon Moxley a good wrestler?
No.
I think you're asking the wrong person.
Well, it's sort of one of those, like, what is a good wrestler? He's charismatic. He's clever. He's charming. He's
aggressive.
Endearing, complex. Does he know how to do any moves? No. But does that mean that he's a bad wrestler?
For a casual watcher like me, I still enjoy watching him.
So it's like how much of the wrestling part of wrestling do you care about?
So the thing about this match is that we've talked before about how wrestlers have brain damage.
So much brain damage.
And Joey Janella and Jon Moxley are two people
with brain damage.
They don't behave like humans necessarily.
Because of the brain damage.
Mm-hmm. Jon Moxley fully kissed the camera on the way in and left it wet like he was an alien chasing Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Like an impressive amount of goo.
Slobber.
On that camera.
Ectoplasm.
Too much. I thought I knew what I was getting into with Joey Janella. He's like when you date someone because you're like, oh, he's crazy. He's going to be fun in bed. And then he gets into bed and you're like, oh, no, he's crazy. I'm going to die.
He reminds me of like the class clown in art school. Where you're like, you're in art school. Why are you fucking around this much? Nothing you're doing matters.
But he's like the class clown in art school who is later convicted of a serious crime. So most of the things that I remember from this match involve the leaking of bodily fluids out onto the world. There's a lot of barbed wire. In that overarching context, all of the pointy things in this match made me very uncomfortable, and I start uncomfortable around that shit.
The thing that made me the most uncomfortable was the foot fetish stuff. There was just a lot of shots of Joey Janella's toes.
You're leaving...
Representation is important, guys.
I'm sorry.
Foot fetishist representation.
Yes. There are a lot of people watching wrestling that I guarantee have foot fetishes.
You're leaving out that the feet had thumbtacks in them.
That was certainly not the focus of the cameras, which were zooming in on the toes specifically.
Foot full of tacks, everyone. It's tax season.
Taxing.
I was taxed by all the tax. Spoiler alert, Jon Moxley wins.
And then Kenny Omega comes out and thrashes Moxley around a bit and then plays some air guitar and looks like the biggest nerd who's ever lived, and I was embarrassed and wanted to die. And then the event ends. So that was a horrible way to end your show, because Kenny Omega's an alien and doesn't know how to look cool doing literally anything.
We're going to move on to the G1 Climax in Dallas, Texas. A small selection of matches, starting with Will Osprey versus Lance Archer, who I just heard of for the first time when we had to watch him. Who is this big tall man?
Yeah, who is Lance Archer?
I literally have never heard of him before.
He's been wrestling for 19 years and none of us have heard of him.
He needs some conditioner.
Oh,
conditioner?
I understand why wrestlers are now always wet.
Right?
After
but
seeing
he
him.
also needs to come to my house so I can condition it.
Oh. No. Bearka.
Yes, Lance Archer.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
You need to raise your standards.
He is tall and thick and actually looks like a goth boy and not like Osprey coming out looking like he just went to Hot Topic for the first time.
I don't feel like Will Ospreay's ever going for goth.
He hit his outerwear on his entrance.
So the main story of this match is that Will can do flips and Lance is too big to lift up. Those are like the salient points that we need to get across. Will is in the sky and Lance is on the ground and will stay there.
That's not true. He did a tightrope walk.
He did. He's no Cassandra, but he did it.
Knowledge.
Spoiler alert, we watch a Cassandra match later. I know it because I have to specifically for this video.
But still, good job.
I saw the parallel.
I honestly was like, who is this scrub with the long hair? And then he did that tightrope walk, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm underestimating this.
He's a fucking badass.
He was actually really cool.
Really cool.
I was so upset with how he looked because he ended up being really fun to watch and really talented. And I was so mad because I just couldn't take him seriously because of how he looked. So what's also interesting about this is that this is the first match like in the G1, which is like a round robin tournament. So there's an A block and a B block. And everyone from the A block will fight each other, and everyone from the B block will fight each other. So, like, I didn't give a fuck about Lance Archer going into this. And now I'm like, I would like to watch him more.
You'll get to, because he won.
Right. Well, so will Osprey. That's the thing. It's this victory. The victory for Archer actually is not that huge of a deal because he's going to end up fighting everyone else in the A block.
It's like a point system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I tried to grasp the rules of this shit, and I could not.
You don't have to worry about it. The point is, we're going to see more of both of these sweetie poops.
Great. You know what?
Sweetie poops.
Moving on to Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sanada.
Basically a tie each other in a knot match.
Sky Captain in the world of Sanada.
I have a lot of commentary about a lot of that. I want to start off with Zack Sabre Jr.'s walk. He walks how Vince McMahon thinks he walks.
Oh.
Like, they both have they don't both have a good walk, but, like, Zack has, like, a little, like, this kind of thing, and then Vince takes it to the next level, but, like, that's what I see for him.
Here's the thing they have in common. They're both pieces of shit.
Oh.
Do we not like ZSJ?
Oh, I love him, but he's a piece of shit. That's the whole character. There's very few wrestling people whose character is, I'm a piece of shit. It's like MJF and ZSJ and Vince McMahon, and their characters are, I'm a piece of shit, and it's kind of amazing.
I loved him in this match. He and Sanada, they, like, cuddled, they posed for prom photos, they held hands and went on walks.
Oh my God.
I have been on worse third dates than this match.
I love this match. It was so, like, precise, and everyone was pulling out strange moves that I had never seen before. They were just going back and forth, and I really didn't know who was going to win.
Wait.
I have a question. My question is, when is it okay to bleach your beard? And the answer is never.
He looked okay.
No.
Everyone, if you're doing that at home, or even in a salon, wherever you're doing it, stop.
The thing about Sanada is that for a time, he had my favorite look in all of wrestling, which was black leggings, white t-shirt, skull mask, slick back hair.
Perfect.
What are you doing with this shitty Sky Pirate jacket? Get out of here.
It was phenomenal.
Disgusting.
With the mask and the jewels?
Asymmetric.
So detailed.
It had so many details, and it was like a more is more is more is less.
This is what Cody wanted to be wearing on AEW's premiere episode.
You're right. You're not wrong. However, it's still fucking disgusting.
I loved it.
This match, weirdly, did a lot of the realism thing where it seemed like they were, like, real wrestling up until the very end, when I was expected to believe that it is possible to tie a human being around a rope in such a way that they can't just let the fuck go of the rope. ZSJ gets wrapped around the rope. The rope is not tied in a knot around him. He's tied in a knot around the rope, and I'm like, bitch, just let go. He doesn't let go.
I can't disagree.
He's
He
like,
sold it well, though. His facial expression was like, oh no, I'm in a spot.
Yeah, but he had
He's in a spot.
He had the face of, like, a cartoon character tied to a railroad track.
Yeah, that's like what he's portraying.
It's like entry-level kink, though, to pretend you're still tied up.
I think CSJ's whole gimmick is entry-level kink, though.
Well, then he did it. Oh, his balls are just to the ground because he's into it.
What?
Yeah, stretching.
I'm so sorry. I must go. It's been wonderful. I mean, the whole match just had the vibe of two boyfriends who are both verse and are playfully deciding who gets to top.
They really know each other's bodies.
Yeah, and Sanada gets to top tonight, everybody. And finally, we're going to do Tanahashi versus Okada. We should start with looks. I know that you are pro Okada's coat.
You took it too far.
Oh, thank God.
It was one step too far. The fringe was too much. It was perfect the way it was. You didn't need to add that.
What did he add?
Fringe!
Everything was great.
Oh, no. It was monstrous.
Did I not like this last time? Because I loved it this time.
You did not.
What happened?
Fringe happened.
Okay.
And I like fringe, but this, it's just a monstrosity. It's all
Just
too much. And then Tanahashi also maybe needs to get that feather situation under control.
Oh, so bad. Where are those cheap feathers coming from? Go to a real designer. Don't go to fucking Ruby's costume for your feathers.
This match starts at a fever pitch because I didn't know this going in, but the announce table was at pains to tell me that this is the most important rivalry in the history of humankind. And the crowd agreed because I heard 30,000 people shit themselves at once.
That stadium was not full, though.
It was full of diarrhea.
I really appreciated a holy shit chant for a skirt Ruby.
That's drag.
That's drag.
So yeah, that was good. But then the following 57 minutes and 38 seconds.
There's a 20-minute time limit. Shut up.
I will say, so at a press conference, Zack Sabre Jr. said that doing a technically good match for an American audience is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. And I would like to thank him for confirming that I am that bitch.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
We're moving on to Rise, the Pride and Joy event, which is amazing and has a lot of queer talent. We're going to start with a 6-way door match. I'm sorry for reading all the names off. We've got Jake Atlas, Elena Black, Devin Monroe, Big Mama, Jamie Senegal, and Priscilla Kelly.
Let me just say that if you book gay people on your show, I'm 100% more interested than I ever would be and cared way more about this whole event than I cared about literally anything else all month.
I didn't know many of these wrestlers beforehand, so I was familiar with some, but there are people that you put someone named Big Mama in a bustier in a ring, and I'm just excited.
Yeah.
Because she's Big Mama.
But
I had
also,
never heard of her before, and she was so cool.
So fun.
Dominant.
I love her.
She right away just slams Elena Black through a door, and I was like, oh.
Don't need that, tiny lady.
It's like how in Psycho, when you just kill the main character to let everyone know that you're not fucking around.
Yes. And I love, it happened in the Nyla match where there's a big person in the match and everyone realizes they have to team up to defeat them because no one stands a chance alone against them.
Ring psychology.
Different from psychology.
I know I've heard her name before, Priscilla Kelly, but I don't think I've ever seen her wrestle before.
So
I was immediately enamored that she came out to How Soon Is Now.
Love it.
I was just like, okay, this is the one I'm watching.
Turns out she actually is great at wrestling too.
She is wonderful. I feel a special kinship to Jamie Senegal because he is also someone who confuses heterosexuals. There's a lot of straight dudes online who give him some sexy energy, and yes.
There was a Reddit thread about one of Jamie's signature moves where everyone was calling him her, and it was so fascinating to watch all the Reddit nerds be like, wait, so he uses she pronouns sometimes? And I was like, yeah, children, it's complicated.
Oh, it is. And they had some hard thinking to do in the mirror later. I want to give a special shout out to Devon, who was less than a year wrestling.
So good!
That's some real shit.
So charismatic, really good, just basic lucha skills, but also combined with just pure heart.
Yeah, he was so compelling to watch. It's really hard to have that kind of stage presence when you're new in your career, and he was just so immensely watchable the entire time. Every time he was doing anything, he had star quality.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I just appreciated him so much.
I also like that him and Jake Atlas sort of had mirror world versions of each other's gears, where Devon's was white with a rainbow and Jake's was black with a rainbow.
Sure.
I loved it.
Incredible.
I just couldn't stop staring at Jake's rainbow. It was pointing in the right direction. The pot of gold.
Every single company should be fighting to sign Jake Atlas. He's literally one of the best wrestlers I've ever watched.
Oh, wow.
I've seen him in so many matches, and every single time he steals the show. Technically, charisma-wise, proficiency-wise, just everything about him is so on fucking point.
I do have to say, I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I don't know if that matters. I don't know if he's a heel or a face. Because I actually wrote down the opposite of what you guys just said. I don't have a good sense of who he is.
So the match comes down to Jake and Priscilla at the end, and there's a lot of just the two of them, and it's all phenomenal.
Right. I really, like I said, I had only seen Priscilla in sort of jokey, stunty, shocky matches before, and I really hadn't seen her do any kind of technical wrestling, but she was really throwing stiff punches. She was kicking, suplexing, avoiding, dodging. It was so amazing.
And it's hard because in just the reality of the situation, he is big and athletic, and it just seems clear that he should be able to pick her up and throw her from a sheer size advantage. And they really did a good storytelling job of justifying why it took him so long to get a handle on the end of this match.
Because she's slippery.
He does ultimately get her through that door, but it takes him a while, and it is incredibly earned. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Schatzi and Effie's promo and that whole situation. Take us through it.
So, Schatzi comes out. She holds some kind of intergender belt. Don't remember what the title is. She looks great. Let's talk about that for a second.
She looks like the girl Gremlin from a second. Yes.
She's definitely going for Tank Girl, but she's making it her own, and I appreciate that about her.
Yeah, I would lean more on Tank Girl than the Lady Gremlin.
Both are hot.
Big time.
Yeah.
Oh, who doesn't want to fuck the Lady Gremlin? I stand corrected.
I mean, seriously. Comment below if you don't want to fuck her.
So her beautiful, sexy Gremlin moment is cut short by
a masked intruder in a pink balaclava, which
What? It was like Pussy Riot gear, right?
Yeah.
Full tracksuit.
Full fucking tracksuit. Who is this mysterious
we don't know.
person? Oh, it's our best friend.
Oh, it's Effie. Who's getting full booze.
Yeah.
He loves a boo, so don't even think that does anything.
Oh, I don't feel bad for him.
Boos are just applause from ghosts.
So here's the truth that Effie spills. It is cute to book queer talent in June.
Cute.
But it is cuter to book queer talent in, say, July, August, September, October. You see where I'm going with this? Do you see? You know all the rest of the months. The Pepsi logo that's a rainbow is adorable in 1 month, but promoting queer talent in general is great year-round. Though, note to Effie and to you that just hiring gay people is not the same as hiring queer people.
Queer.
You know what I meant.
I do, but I want to make sure that we're all remembering.
Yeah, good point.
Sure, I'm gay, but other people aren't, and they're still way more oppressed than me.
So
go open a book.
Read a book.
Says me of all people.
And our final match, Cassandra versus Mercedes Martinez. Right away,
Just gagged right away.
I didn't technically know who Cassandra was, but
really?
I knew that he was legendary, and I know who Mercedes Martinez is, obviously. So I was excited to have like a name that I knew paired with someone that I know is incredible. I had a lot of just like butterflies in my stomach about this one.
The thing about Cassandra is that he, from his just aura, you can tell that he has seen a lot of fucking shit in his life, and that he is regal, glamorous, ethereal, and beautiful.
Yep.
Got all that?
So, like, you just don't really even need to know that much about him because he conveys that in every single thing he does.
Oh, I knew exactly what he was bringing to the ring from the first walk in.
Yeah.
Like, the beautiful eye, that dyed hair, the sparkle gear, like, I got it.
This whole show was about bringing people that aren't normally together, obviously.
I have a lot of feelings about Cassandra. I just think he's so powerful.
So great.
Yeah. I also
How many times did you cry watching this?
Oh, 1 million.
I cried at least twice.
Yeah, I thought it was actually really powerful that Mercedes got the pin on him.
Yeah.
That was like a really gracious thing. I felt like that she got to win, and I think that they both understood that was important, and they hugged afterwards in a way that was so tender and showed all the generosity he had for his whole career to be giving back to all these people who are looking up to him. It was, there was a lot wrapped up in the end of that match specifically that felt like an acknowledgement of all that he is and has given. Thank you for watching, everyone. We have a GoFundMe running for the Mixed Nobody pageant. It's the most important thing we do all year, as far as I'm concerned. So if you have a couple extra dollars to throw our way, that would be amazing. As always, I am at Ariel Italic at all of the places.
I'm Lady Berica Andrews at the Lady Berica.
I've been burping this whole episode.
Cute.